A very common problem in game development is optimizing your game systems to support hundreds, if not thousands, of objects on screen interacting with the player or each other at any given moment. Imagine you have a little AI drone that flows around in your game, that shoots bullets, displays a cool little effect when it gets hit, and explodes when it dies. A really quick and easy way of implementing this drone would be to have it create its own list of bullets, so whenever it needs to shoot one, it just grabs one from this list and applies a certain amount of force onto it in any given direction. It can also create its own hit and explosion effects. So in total, let's say there's 20 bullets the drone can shoot, we'll create 3 impact effects that it can display at any given moment, and 1 explosion effect for when it dies. That means for each drone we're spawning in, we're creating 24 extra things associated with it. And this might work in an average game where there's not a huge amount of drones flying around, but as soon as we start scaling it up, things start to fall apart. For example, this map here, 2 teams, and each team spawns 20 drones at the start of the game. That's 40 drones in total. Then, each drone needs to create 24 extra things that it needs, which means we're creating 960 extra things, 800 of which are bullets. But here's the thing, when I play the game, there are maybe only ever a couple of hundred bullets on screen at any given moment, so why do we need that extra 600? Can't we just create and reuse the minimum amount that we need? This is where adopting a more data-oriented design approach can become incredibly beneficial, as we can begin to implement systems that only create what is necessary for our game to operate, eliminating the extra bloat that we've created for convenience. The way we can do this in this circumstance is to have a system that I like to call a repository. A repository's sole responsibility is the creation and storage of anything in our game that is widely used by multiple different things. This could be projectiles, impact effects, and/or explosions, but it can really be anything that you want. Then, depending on if we have effects or projectiles that vary in any way, we can define a config entry identifying any relevant information we may need to create or access these effects in the future. More importantly, we need to define the amount we want to create and make it available for any other system to use. Now, whenever a drone needs to display an effect or shoot a bullet, it can just grab one from this central repository and use that. And if all other effects are currently in use, we can either ignore that request or create a new effect, add it to the store and use it. This means we only ever have as many things in our game as we need, as we have one repository of projectiles or effects that everything in our game is taking from. And depending on how you have it set up, accessing anything in a repository can be as simple as one line of code.